أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum. Yesterday we spoke about Karbala, what it was about Imam Hussein's journey to Karbala. Today is the 2nd of Muharram, and today Imam al-Hussein has completed his journey to Karbala. He has arrived on the desert plains where he shall sacrifice everything to protect the religion of his grandfather, to stop the desecrations that were happening to it and its ideals at the hands of Yazid and all of his supporters. But today we will focus on a certain person who was a great supporter of Imam al-Hussein, who was known as Safir al-Hussein, the messenger of Hussein, the representative of Hussein, his emissary. And he was known as Muslim ibn Aqeel alayhi salam. Before leaving Mecca, Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam, the flag bearer of Imam Hussein's caravan and army, was heard saying this sermon to the people. All praise is for the Almighty Allah who honored this house, the holy Kaaba, because of his, Imam Hussein's father, and set it as the Qibla of the Muslims, which till then was only a house. Meaning that all praise be to that one God who made the Kaaba the Qibla of the Muslims for the sake of Imam Hussein's father, Imam Ali. Now you know who you are really trying to kill, who you are really fighting. O evil creatures and infidels, you close the way of this house for the pious and the holy Imam. You close the way upon one who is more worthy and nearer to this house than anyone else. Meaning, you're closing the path. You are blocking Imam al-Hussein, the man whose father was the hand with which God had created the universe. His father who knew everything and passed it down to his children who them know everything about the world, who can tell you everything possible with their God-given knowledge, who are so pious and so clean that they deserve to be near that house than anyone else, for the sake of whom the skies were raised and the earth was created. If it was not for the will of Almighty Allah, the divine mystery and the divine test, then surely the house of Allah would have moved towards the Imam with people touching the Hajar-i-Aswad, meaning that if Allah had not willed it, then the Kaaba itself would have moved towards the Imam. The Hajar-i-Aswad, the stone from the heavens, would have gone towards the Imam for the sake of being touched by his blessed hands. If my master's, Imam Hussein's will was non-conformity with the will of Allah, I would have attacked you like an angry eagle attacking a sparrow, and I would have sacrificed my life for my pious leader. This shows you the extreme loyalty Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam had to his brother and his master Imam Hussein. Do you threaten brave men who were not fearful of death even at childhood and considered it a sport? Never. Here he is openly telling the people, why do you insult Imam Hussein? Why do you do this? You don't threaten brave men who do not fear you. You don't think it is a sport. Ponder and see in whose house, who drinks intoxicants, the house of Yazid, and who is the owner of Kawsar, the drinking pond in heaven, the house of Imam Hussain. Ponder and see in whose house drinking of alcohol and dancing by women in vogue, the house of Yazid, and whose house is the witnessed revelation of the Holy Quran, Imam Hussein's house. Ponder and see in whose house is corruption and evil, the house of Yazid, and in which house is found cleanliness in the verses of the Holy Quran, Imam Hussain. Here, Hazrat Abbas is showing the people which side would you rather be on, and which side is more righteous. Look at who you are serving. You are heading towards the same wrong way the Quraysh went. Here he is telling them, if you do not follow Imam Hussain, you are heading in the same direction that the Quraysh went when they did not help it. Rasulullah. You are denying the religion of Islam. You are fighting against the religion of Islam. They planned to kill the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you too plan to kill his grandson. And they couldn't do anything to him, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, during Amir al-Mu'mineen's era, and you too cannot implement your scheme against Imam Hussain till the time I am alive. This shows you Hazrat Abbas was to Imam Hussain like Imam Ali was to Rasulullah. He is the one who would lie in the place of Imam Hussain when the assassins would arrive. He is a defender of Imam Hussain. Nobody can touch him until he has passed away. Know that you cannot succeed in your evil intention until you kill me first. I hope you will not achieve your evil aim, and may the wrath of Almighty Allah be on you, your forefathers and sons forever. All of this sermon happened when the governor of Mecca was trying to block away Imam Hussein's caravan from exiting the city. And Hazrat Abbas said this sermon in an effort to make the people realize what they're doing is terrible. What they were doing, blocking the path of Imam Hussain, blocking the grandson of Rasulullah, the son of the first Imam, it was not the way they should be going. They were as bad as the Quraysh. Upon leaving Mecca, Imam al-Hussain sent out his Safir, Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqeel alayhi salam, to Kufa. There, he wanted to make sure that the intentions of the people of Kufa were true and that they were truly ready to support Imam al-Hussain. Alongside Muslim alayhi salam, Imam Hussain sent two more Safirs, messengers or representatives, Qais ibn Mushir and Abdullah ibn Yaqtar, to Kufa. Both were attacked and apprehended by Ubaidullah, and they were both told to denounce Imam Hussain on the tallest roof of Kufa or face death. Both Qais and Abdullah praised Imam Hussain and called the people to support him. They were both thrown off the roof and attained martyrdom. In an excerpt from a letter sent to Kufa from Imam Hussain through the two messengers that Kufa had sent to Imam Hussain, Hani bin Hani Sabiri and Sa'id bin Abdullah Hanafi. It said, "In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, from Hussain ibn Ali to the noblemen amongst the Muslim and believers. Now then, Hani and Sa'id have brought me your letters, and they being your last messengers, I have realized your opinions through them, and your judgment is that there is no Imam over us. You come towards us, perhaps Allah will unite us through you upon the truth and righteousness. I send to you my cousin, my brother, and trustworthy person from among my family, Muslim ibn Aqeel, and I've instructed him to inquire about your affairs and write to me regarding it. And if he writes to me that your elder is the wise and learned man who hold the same opinion as your messengers have conveyed to me, and as written in your letters, and I shall come to you quickly. Allah willing, I swear by my life that he is not an imam and guide, except he who judges in accordance to the book of Allah and establishes justice and professes the true religion, and dedicates himself to the will of Almighty Allah. Greetings." So before we go any further into the travels of Hazrat Muslim bin Aqeel and what had passed in Kufa, we should discuss who Muslim bin Aqeel alayhi salam really was. He was the son of Aqeel alayhi salam, who was in turn one of the sons of Abu Talib, making Aqeel alayhi salam the brother of the first Imam, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Hazrat Muslim alayhi salam was the bravest of Aqeel alayhi salam's son, and he took part in the Egyptian conquest of 21 after Hijri, or 641 Gregorian year, and in the Battle of Siffin on the side of Imam Ali against Muawiyah. He was born in Medina and was a faithful companion of the first three Imams, Imam Ali, Imam al-Hassan, and Imam Hussain alayhim salam. And today he is buried in Masjid al-Kufa alongside many of the other great companions and kinsmen of the Ahlul Bayt. Muslim alayhi salam, Safir to Kufa. He left Mecca on the 15th of Ramadan, 60 years after Hijrah, which is roughly June 19th, year 680 Gregorian. He first arrived in Medina, where he employed two faithful guides to take him to Kufa. The Hazrat Muslim alayhi salam did not already knew how to get to Kufa. The point of the trip to Medina was to throw any spies off his scent, to make sure that he wasn't going to Kufa, to make it seem as if his intentions were to go to Medina. He arrived in Kufa on the 5th of Shawwal, which is roughly July 9th Gregorian, and he stayed in either the house of Mukhtar ibn Abi Ubaid or Muslim ibn Usaja. The people of Kufa then came to the place of residence and began to pledge allegiance to Muslim ibn Aqeel in the stead of Imam Hussain. The exact number of the supporters that pledged allegiance is under debate, but it is somewhere between 12,000 to 30,000 people. The fighting people of Kufa had finally given allegiance, and Muslim alayhi salam sent a message to Imam Hussain saying all is well and that the people of Kufa truly supported him. In response to the letter from Muslim alayhi salam, Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam sent to Kufa another letter from him. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, from Hussain ibn Ali to his believer and Muslim brothers, I praise Allah Almighty, besides whom there is no other deity. Now then, I have received a letter from Muslim ibn Aqeel informing me regarding the fairness of your intentions and the compliance of your noblemen to assist us and seek our rights. I invoke Allah, the Honorable, the Glorified, that we may face fairness and reward you with the greatest reward. I have left Makkah on Tuesday, the 8th of Zul-Hajj, the day of Tarwiyah. When my messenger reaches you, speed up your task and prepare yourselves, that I shall reach you within some days. Peace be upon you and Allah's mercy and his blessings. It was at this point when everything started to go wrong. When the people of Kufa had pledged allegiance to Imam al-Hussain, Yazid replaced the gentle and lenient governor of Kufa with the vicious and cruel Ubaydullah bin Ziyad. Ubaydullah was a specialist in taking care of riots and revolutions using fear. He was Muawiyah's go-to person for when he wanted to suppress Muslim uprisings in provinces. And when he did it, it always ended with a bloodbath. Ubaydullah found out about Muslim alayhi salam and the growing rebellion in Kufa against Yazid. Upon his appointment, Ubaydullah began to send out death threats and started buying away the leaders. And when the leaders wouldn't be bought off, he sent assassins to kill them in their sleep. Muslim alayhi salam realized that Kufa was no longer safe for him and sought refuge in the home of an old friend and companion, Hani bin Urwa alayhi salam. Through a spy who was acting as a supporter of Muslim bin Aqeel alayhi salam, Ubaydullah found out that Hani was hosting Muslim alayhi salam and had Hani arrested and killed. Muslim alayhi salam told his followers to revolt against Ubaydullah, but the tyrant governor threatened to use the army of Sham meaning Damascus, the army of Yazid, to kill all of the people who were revolting. And that fear tactic worked against him. All of the 4,000 people who had risen up against Ubaydullah dispersed out of fear. With no other supporters, Muslim alayhi salam took refuge in the home of a woman named Tawa. Tawa was a woman who was sympathetic to the Ahlul Bayt and agreed to take Muslim and host him for as long as he needed. But Tawa's son was dishonest. When her son found out that Muslim alayhi salam was at their house, he went to Ubaydullah and told him that Muslim is at his house. Ubaydullah sent 70 soldiers to attack Muslim, who had left in turn the house of Tawa to keep her and her family safe. After having killed a large portion of the 70 soldiers, Muslim alayhi salam had taken grievous wounds and was captured. After taking the companion of Imam Hussain, his Safir prisoner. Ubaydullah ordered Muslim alayhi salam to be taken to the roof of the palace, beheaded, and then had his body thrown down to the streets dozens of feet below. He then sent the heads of Muslim and Hani alayhi salam to Yazid and Sham. But they couldn't leave the children of Muslim alone either. When a father is alive, no harm can reach the family. As we can see in Karbala, nobody advanced on the tents of the family of Imam Hussain while he was still alive. And here nobody dared to harm the family of Muslim ibn Aqeel alayhi salam while he still breathed. But now, with him having attained shahadat, they went after his two young children. They could never leave them alone. In Karbala, you had Ali al-Asghar alayhi salam, the 6-month-old child who was shot through the throat with a 3-headed arrow. You had Sakina alayhi salam, who was attacked and slapped, whose earrings were stolen. And here in Kufa, you have Muhammad and Ibrahim ibn Muslim alayhi salam, who were cruelly imprisoned by Ubaydullah. Muhammad was no more than 8 years old, and Ibrahim was just about 10. Their jailer was a supporter of the Ahlul Bayt who hated Ubaydullah, and when he found out that the two children that he had imprisoned were the sons of Muslim alayhi salam, he released them. Muhammad and Ibrahim alayhi salam went to the river Furat, the Euphrates River, had a drink of water, and hid out in a palm tree near the river. They slept there for a short while until a kindly woman came to the river to fetch water. The woman saw the children and told them that they could stay at her house for however long they needed. But her husband was a cruel man and a friend of Ubaydullah by the name of Harith, who, when he found out that Muhammad and Ibrahim alayhi salam were at his house, he took them to the river, ignoring all the pleas of his wife, having slapped her when she tried to stop him. When the two children stood there, they asked, "Are you going to kill us? What has happened to our father?" Harith took no mercy. He gave no mercy. When Harith prepared to swing the sword, Ibrahim stepped forward. "Kill me before you kill my brother." Muhammad stepped forward. "Kill me before you kill my brother." Such loyalty between siblings. Harith beheaded both of them. The two children of Muslim ibn Aqeel alayhi salam had finally attained shahadat. Harith took their heads and threw their bodies in the river Euphrates and sent the heads to Ubaydullah for a reward. What cruelty the Ahlul Bayt had suffered. What cruelty the children of the Ahlul Bayt had suffered. Assalamu alayka ya awlad al-Muslim wa ala al-Safir al-Hussain al-Muslim min Aqeel. Inna Allah wa inna alayhi raji'un.